this tutorial, we will be going over what a list is in Python. So you know what a variable is. A variable is a container that stores a certain data value. So right now, I have this variable called variable, and I am assigning it the data value 3. You can do this for several other data types, as I explained in my variables and data types video. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so before going on to this lesson. All right, let's get started. So a list is a collection, and it is ordered and changeable. It also allows for duplicate values. So in Python, these lists are written with square brackets. So if you see here, the way we declare a list is we write the name of the list that we want. So here I have a list called months, and we declare it by writing in equal signs and assigning it these values. And we write these values inside of square brackets. All right, so I've just printed this list. So as you can see, this list has the values Jan, Feb, and March. All right, so there's much more you can do with lists except printing it. So let's go on to accessing list items. So you can access the list items by referring to the index number. So list indexes start at 0. So for the third position in the list, it would be the position 2. The second position would be position 1, and the first one would be position 0. So for example, if you want to access the first item of the list, then you write the name of the list, square brackets, and inside of the square brackets, you write the position you want. So I'm just going to write 0 because I want the first item of the list, and indexes start at 0. All right, so I got Jan. Now, what if I want the third item in the list? Pause the video and complete this challenge. Can you get the third item of the list? All right, I'm assuming you had a try at it. So the way you do that is you write the list name and 2, and there you go. You got the third item. Okay. Now you can do more than just positive indexing. You can also do negative indexing. So from the beginning to the end, -1 refers to the last item, and -2 refers to the second last item, and so on. Let me show you what I mean. For example, if you write the list name and you do -1, you would get the last item in the list. If you do -2, you guessed it, you got the second last item in the list. Pretty cool, right? To accessing list values, you can also specify a range of indexes by specifying where to start and where to end the range. So when specifying a range, the return value will always be a new list with the specified items. So let me show you what I mean. Let me create a list called months again, and I'm just going to set it to a lot of values. Okay, I think this will do. Oh, okay, so okay, got a quick typo there. Just gonna... Okay, so make sure you have your quotation marks correctly. Okay, so let's return the third, fourth, and fifth values. So for example, let's get months new. So what we can do to get these values is you write the position of the starting value. So that is 2. So 2 refers to the third value, as we discussed. And 5, which refers to the sixth value. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the sixth value. Now, 5 does not include the sixth value. I'll show you what I mean. So if you enter, you get all the values from March to May, but it does not include the sixth value. So basically, when specifying a range, it goes from all the values from the starting value, but up to, but not including the ending value. All right. So you can also access a certain range of values by only specifying one endpoint. For example, if you do colon and 4, you get all the values up to but not including the value at position 4. Now, similarly, you can also get values 4 onwards. So you get all the values after 4. Alright, so now you can also change an item value. So for example, you can do months, new, and let's change the first value. So you can actually change the first value to January. So now if you go ahead and write months new, you get the full list. And as you can see, January has been changed from the original Jan. Alright, so now you can also loop through a list. We will go into loops in more detail in the next lesson, but for now, okay, now you can also check if an item in a list exists. For example, you can do this using the in keyword. So you can say if some value in the list, you can do something like print found it. Okay, so it prints found it because January is in the month's new list. Now let's try something like Jan. Let's say if Jan in month's new. So now it doesn't print anything because it did not find the exact value Jan in the list. Alright, so in addition to all of this, you can also add items to the list. So you can grow the list in size. And the way you do this is by using the append keyword. So we write the list name and we write .append. And the name of some value. So for example, let's say we want to append September. So now if you write months new, there we go. Now we have the full list and September. Alright, so you can also insert items into the list. So the way you do that is by using the insert keyword. So you would do months new by insert. So the first thing you do, so if you see this, it says index and object. So don't worry about the slash right now. So what you can do is, say you want to insert the object at position 1. Then we would write index 1, comma, some value. Let's say we want the value apple. So if we enter and we write months new, there we go. So as you can see, apple is inserted into position 1, pushing February to the right. Alright, so in addition to all of this, you can also remove items. And the way you do this, it's pretty simple actually. You just write months new, or the list name, dot remove, and you could just write the value that you want to remove. So let's say we want to remove apple, we're pretty done with it. And if you write months new, then there you go. There is no apple anymore. Okay, now in addition, you can also delete some value at a specified index if you don't know what value it holds. For example, the way you do this is through the del keyword. So del, and you write the list name, so months new, and you write the index. So let's say we want to delete the second item. So I'd write months new 1, enter. So if you check months new, as you can see, February is gone. Now, in addition to all of this, we can use the clear keyword. So what this can do is this can clear the list. So empty the list. So this is how you do it. We write the list name dot the method name clear. And let's check months new. And there you go. It's empty. Now, in addition to all of this, you can completely delete the list. So you do this by the del keyword and the list name. And if you check the list name, we get an error because it does not exist anymore.